Success is a lonely and difficult road. Success isn't a path walked by the crowd. It's a narrow, unforgiving road walked by the few who dare to dream bigger, push harder, and endure more. It's lonely because most people would rather stay in the safety of the herd than step into the unknown. It's hard because real growth demands sacrifice, discomfort, and relentless discipline. This road is not for everyone. It's not for those who only follow others, who mimic rather than lead, who choose comfort over challenge. Followers never discover who they truly are. Only those brave enough to forge their own path ever tap into their real potential. The ones who make it don't need approval or applause. They move forward in silence, driven by vision, not validation. Success requires the courage to walk alone when necessary, to stand alone when misunderstood, and to keep going when there's no one cheering. That's why the journey is so tough, because it breaks the weak and builds the strong. If you're not ready to face yourself in solitude, you're not ready for greatness. True potential is discovered on your own path. You will never find your true strength by following someone else's footsteps. Real power is born the moment you choose to walk your own path. It's in the silence of solitude, in the courage to break away from the crowd, that you meet the strongest version of yourself. Those who fly alone develop the strongest wings, not because they had no other choice, but because they dared to soar without fear. Those who walk alone find the clearest direction, because their path is not shaped by others' expectations, but by their own vision and purpose. When you rely on the crowd, you move with their confusion. When you trust your own compass, you move with clarity. Independence builds resilience. Solitude sharpens focus. Greatness doesn't come from imitation. It comes from the boldness to be original, to be authentic, and to be free. The journey might be harder alone, but it's the only way to uncover the depth of your potential. Forge your own way. Don't just exist, elevate. That's where your power lives. Dependence weakens the spirit. The more you rely on others for strength, the weaker you become. True power doesn't come from applause, attention, or validation. It comes from within. If your self-worth is tied to how others see you, you will forever be a prisoner to their opinions. And a prisoner can never be free. Those who constantly need recognition just to keep going will never know real strength, because real strength is built in silence, when no one is watching, when no one is clapping, and you keep moving anyway. External praise fades, but internal power, that lasts. You don't grow by being dependent on the spotlight. You grow by being grounded in your purpose, regardless of who's watching. The strongest individuals are those who can stand tall with or without approval. They don't seek permission to be great. They give themselves the permission. Stop chasing validation. Start building conviction. Because the moment you stop needing others to believe in you and start believing in yourself is the moment you become truly unstoppable. Peace and power come from within. There's a rare kind of peace that comes when you no longer need others to believe in you, because you believe in yourself. You stop seeking validation and start standing in your truth. You stop waiting for support and start backing yourself fully. That's where real strength begins. Not in the noise of approval, but in the quiet confidence that says, I've got this. You don't need their applause. You don't need their belief. If you trust your vision, if you're committed to your path, nothing else matters. The world may doubt you. They may overlook you. But if you don't doubt yourself, you've already won half the battle. When you accept who you are, flaws, scars, and all, you become unshakable. When you learn to rely on your inner fire, external circumstances lose their power over you. You become grounded, focused, and fearless. That kind of strength isn't loud. It's silent, steady, and unstoppable. Believe in yourself fiercely. That belief is your foundation. That faith is your fuel. Everything you need is already inside you. Living true to yourself leads to real love and respect. There's nothing more powerful than a person who has the courage to live authentically. In a world full of masks, illusions, and expectations, being true to yourself is a rare kind of bravery. When you follow your heart, even when it's hard, even when it's unpopular, you stand out. And that's exactly what makes you inspiring. People are drawn to truth. They respect those who refuse to pretend, who don't bend to please, and who choose honesty over acceptance. The moment you stop trying to fit in and start standing firm in who you are, you gain something far greater than attention. You gain real respect. You gain real love, the kind that sees your soul and not your mask. It takes strength to walk your path when the world pushes you toward conformity. But those who dare to live aligned with their values, passions, and truth become beacons for others lost in the noise. You become proof that freedom is possible. Live your truth. Speak from the heart. Be unapologetically you. The right people will see it. And most importantly, you'll finally see and love yourself. Inner strength is forged through pain and struggle. Real strength isn't given. It's earned in the fire of adversity. It's built in the lonely moments, in the silent battles no one sees, in the pain that forces you to rise or break. When you go through darkness alone and keep going, you become something unbreakable. Not because life was easy, but because you refused to give up when it was hard. The strongest souls are not the ones who've never been hurt. They're the ones who took the pain and turned it into power. They didn't run from the struggle. They faced it, learned from it, and grew beyond it. That's where depth is born. That's where compassion is shaped. And that's where the unshakable belief in oneself begins. Every challenge you've faced has carved a deeper version of you. You see clearer. You feel deeper. And now, nothing can break what has already been rebuilt from within. You are not fragile. You are forged. You've faced storms and stood tall. You've been in the dark and became your own light. Now no challenge can defeat you because you've already conquered the hardest one, yourself. Proud to have stayed true and never given up. There is a unique kind of pride that doesn't come from applause or awards. It comes from within. It's the pride of knowing you didn't quit when everything in you wanted to. The pride of standing tall after being knocked down countless times. The pride of living true to who you are, even when the world tried to shape you into something else. You didn't give in. You didn't sell out. You stayed on your path, fought your battles, and remained honest with yourself. That's something no one can take away from you. And that kind of pride, it's more powerful than any praise others could ever offer. You know what it took. You know the pain, the doubt, the setbacks, and yet you kept going. You didn't betray your values. You didn't chase approval. You chose authenticity over acceptance, purpose over popularity. Be proud. Not because the world noticed, but because you know what you've overcome. Be proud because you are living life on your terms, with integrity, strength, and self-respect. You earned that, and no one can take it from you.